Let me ask you something personal. When was the last time you stood up from a chair and felt just for a second, like your legs almost didn't catch you? When was the last time you noticed your arms looked thinner, even though your weight hasn't really changed? If either of those hit close to home, I need you to stay with me for the next few minutes. Because what I'm about to share is something most doctors never explain, and it might be the most important thing you do for your health this year. Here's the fact they don't put on the pamphlet. After 60, your body can lose up to 8% of its muscle mass every single decade. And if you're not actively fighting back, that rate accelerates. Scientists have a name for this condition: sarcopenia. And it is happening inside your body right now this morning while you eat breakfast. The question is, are you making it worse or are you fighting back? Before I show you the 5 foods that science has proven to rebuild muscle after 60, I need to show you something first. The 5 breakfast habits that are silently stripping your strength away every single morning. Most people who talk to me think they're eating fine. They think a light breakfast is smart. They think cutting back is healthy. They are wrong, and that mistake is costing them years of independence. Comment 1 if you've had any of these habits in the past week. Comment 2 if you think your breakfast is already pretty solid. Let's find out together. The first habit, quietly destroying your muscle every morning, is plain white bread. Just toast, maybe a little butter or jam. Sounds harmless. Here's what's actually happening. White bread gives your blood sugar a fast spike and then a crash. But the real damage isn't the spike, it's what's missing. Muscle tissue is built from amino acids, molecular building blocks your body can only get from food. Plain white bread has almost none. So when you eat that toast at 7 a.m., your muscles receive nothing to work with. Your body still needs energy to function. So it does something you'd never consciously choose. It starts breaking down your own muscle to get it. Every morning you do this, you're not just missing an opportunity to rebuild, you're actively tearing yourself down. That single habit, repeated 5 mornings a week, is enough to accelerate the muscle loss your doctor will later chalk up to just getting older. And here's what makes this even more alarming. The second habit is something millions of seniors do every day, thinking it's completely fine. Skipping breakfast and just drinking coffee. Now, I'm not telling you to give up coffee, but when coffee becomes your entire morning meal, something serious begins. Your body has been fasting all night. By the time you wake up, you've been without food for 8, 9, maybe 10 hours. Your muscles are in a catabolic state, primed to break down for fuel. The moment you eat protein, you flip that switch off. You stop the breakdown and start the rebuilding. But if you push through till lunch on just coffee, that catabolic window stays open. Your body keeps burning muscle for fuel, hour after hour. Over weeks, months, years, this is how strength quietly disappears, not from one dramatic event, from 10,000 small mornings when you gave your body nothing to work with. I know some of you are thinking, I'm just not hungry in the morning. Hold that thought, because the third habit is the sneakiest one, and it catches people off guard every time. Processed meats, sausage links, canned meat, packaged deli slices, these have protein, right? So they should be helping, but here's what's hiding inside that you never think about. Processed meats are loaded with preservatives, sodium, and chemical additives. When those enter your system, your immune response kicks in, and that creates what scientists call systemic inflammation. Chronic, low-level inflammation does something devastating to muscles. It directly blocks the repair process. Your aging cells are already slower at recovering than they were at 40. Chronic inflammation makes that recovery even harder. So even though you're eating protein, your body's internal environment is too inflamed to properly use it. You're eating protein and still losing muscle. Most people never make that connection. Comment 1 if you've been eating processed meats thinking it was a healthy protein source. Comment too if this is news to you. The fourth habit is one I see constantly in households where people are trying to eat light. Pastries, sweet biscuits, muffins, a croissant with morning coffee. These have a catastrophic effect on one specific mechanism that most people over 60 have never heard of. It's called anabolic resistance. Here's what that means in plain language. As you get older, your muscles naturally become less responsive to protein. A 25-year-old and a 65-year-old can eat identical amounts of protein, but the 65-year-old's muscles absorb significantly less of it. Now here's the connection to pastries. High sugar intake causes insulin resistance, and insulin resistance makes anabolic resistance dramatically worse. That sweet biscuit in the morning isn't just a harmless treat. It's sabotaging every protein meal you eat for the rest of the day. One pastry at breakfast can reduce your muscles' protein uptake efficiency for hours afterward. Think about that the next time the muffin looks appealing. Stay with me, because the fifth habit is one that's literally marketed as healthy. And that's what makes it so dangerous. Sweetened instant cereals. The colorful boxes that say, fortified with vitamins and minerals, the kind with a smiling senior on the packaging. These products are aggressively targeted at older adults, and they are deeply misleading. Yes, they're fortified, but look at the actual protein content, 2 to 4 grams per serving. Then look at the sugar, 12, 15, 20 grams in a single bowl. That combination, low protein, high refined sugar, is almost perfectly designed to accelerate muscle loss. The vitamins are window dressing. The real content is sugar. And sugar creates an internal environment that actively blocks your body from using whatever protein it does get. Your body doesn't care about the marketing on the box. It only responds to what you actually put in it. Now, you've been waiting for this part. And here's what I want you to know before I share these 5 foods. They are not exotic. They are not expensive. Most of them are already at your grocery store, and some might already be in your refrigerator. But eating them specifically at breakfast at the time when your muscles are most responsive changes everything. Science has confirmed that protein timing matters enormously for seniors. Eating protein in the morning is significantly more effective at stopping muscle loss than eating that same protein at dinner. So what you eat for breakfast isn't just breakfast. It's your daily investment in how strong you'll be next year and the year after that. The first food is Greek yogurt, specifically full-fat, plain Greek yogurt. Not the flavored kind, not the low-fat version with fruit syrup added. Plain, full-fat. Here's why this food is remarkable. A single cup delivers 17 to 20 grams of high-quality protein. But it's not just the amount, it's the type. Greek yogurt is exceptionally rich in an amino acid called leucine. If you've never heard of leucine, here's what you need to know. It acts like a biological switch. When enough leucine hits your bloodstream, it sends a direct signal to your muscle cells start rebuilding. Without enough leucine, muscle protein synthesis stays sluggish even if you're eating adequate protein overall. Greek yogurt delivers that leucine threshold better than almost any other breakfast food. Add probiotics for gut health, calcium for bone density, and a texture that actually tastes good, and you have a near-perfect morning muscle food. Comment 1 right now if you're going to swap your cereal for Greek yogurt this week. Because the second food works even better when you pair it with the first. Whole eggs, not egg whites, not egg substitute. Whole eggs yolk included. Eggs are the gold standard of protein quality. Nutritionists measure protein quality using something called biological value, a scale of how efficiently your body can use the protein in a food. Whole eggs score 100. That is the top of the scale. No other single food matches it. And here's what most people, and a lot of doctors, still get wrong. The yolk is not the enemy. The yolk is where the magic is. Egg yolks contain vitamin D, and vitamin D deficiency is directly linked to accelerated muscle loss in seniors. Studies show older adults with low vitamin D levels lose muscle at a significantly faster rate than those with adequate levels. Throwing away the yolk means throwing away the most nutrient-dense part of the food. 2 whole eggs at breakfast give your muscles a complete amino acid profile, a dose of vitamin D, and a protein source so efficient your body can use almost every gram of it. Every single morning. The third food works in combination with eggs in a way most people never think to use. Avocado. And I want to be very clear about why this belongs on your breakfast plate, because healthy fat doesn't begin to explain it. Vitamins A, D, E, and K are all fat-soluble. Your body can only absorb them when fat is present in the same meal. So when you eat eggs rich in vitamin D alongside avocado, the healthy fat from the avocado dramatically increases how much of that vitamin D your body actually absorbs and uses. You're not just eating 2 foods, you're creating a nutrient absorption system. Avocado is also rich in potassium, more potassium than a banana, and potassium is critical for muscle contraction. Without adequate potassium, muscles cramp faster, fatigue faster, and recover slower. Half an avocado alongside your eggs is not just tasty, it's functional. It's medicine you actually want to eat. Comment 2 if you're going to try the egg and avocado combination this week. And keep going, because the 4th food is one that surprises most seniors the first time they hear it. Lean poultry at breakfast, chicken or turkey. I know it sounds unusual, but here's the biological argument. Your muscles are most receptive to protein in the morning. And lean poultry is one of the cleanest, most bioavailable protein sources you can give them. 3 ounces of chicken breast delivers about 26 grams of protein with minimal fat. For seniors with cardiovascular concerns, this is a far safer choice than red meat, while still delivering the complete amino acid profile muscles need. Turkey is also exceptionally rich in B vitamins, especially B12. B12 deficiency is extremely common in seniors, partly because absorption declines with age, and it directly impairs muscle metabolism. Without adequate B12, your body is trying to build muscle without all the tools. A small portion of last night's grilled chicken, alongside your eggs, might be the most powerful breakfast you've ever eaten. Try it once. Your muscles will tell you the difference. And now, the 5th food. I saved this one for last because of what it does differently from everything else on this list. It works at a biological level that most people never think about. Mixed nuts, specifically almonds, walnuts, and pumpkin seeds. Walnuts are one of the richest plant-based sources of omega-3 fatty acids. And omega-3s have a direct, documented effect on muscle inflammation. As you age, low-grade inflammation in your muscle tissue interferes with the repair signals muscles need to rebuild. Omega-3s counter that inflammatory signal and create the biochemical environment where muscle repair can actually happen efficiently. Studies on older adults show that regular omega-3 intake can actually reverse some of the anabolic resistance we talked about earlier, making your muscles more responsive to protein again. Almonds bring magnesium, which is involved in over 300 enzymatic reactions, including several directly responsible for muscle protein synthesis. Pumpkin seeds add zinc, which supports testosterone production and immune function, both critical for maintaining muscle in older adults. A small handful of mixed nuts alongside your yogurt or eggs is not an afterthought. It is the finishing piece of a breakfast your muscles will use all day long. Here's what I want you to understand about how these 5 foods work together. It's not 5 separate choices. It's a system. Your muscle cells respond to signals. The signals they respond to most powerfully are sufficient leucine to flip the rebuilding switch. Greek yogurt delivers this. A complete amino acid profile at maximum biological efficiency, eggs deliver this. A fat-soluble vitamin absorption enhancer avocado does this. A clean, high-protein source, rich in B12 poultry, does this. And an anti-inflammatory compound that reverses anabolic resistance, the omega-3s in nuts, do this. Combine 2 or 3 of these at breakfast every morning, and you're not just feeding yourself. You're sending your muscle cells one consistent, powerful signal: rebuild. Recover. Stay strong. Now, I want to be honest with you about the timeline. Your muscles didn't start declining overnight, and they won't come back overnight. But research has shown that seniors who make these changes consistently for 12 weeks begin to see measurable improvements in muscle mass, strength, and physical function. 12 weeks, 3 months. Imagine feeling meaningfully stronger by then. Imagine getting up from a chair without thinking about it. Imagine carrying your groceries in one trip. Imagine moving in a way that makes the people around you say they look great for their age. That is not a fantasy. That is a physiological outcome that is genuinely available to you starting tomorrow morning. One more thing before I let you go, and this might be the most practical piece of information in this entire video. It's about protein timing and distribution. Most people eat very little protein at breakfast, a moderate amount at lunch, and then load up at dinner. For seniors, this is almost the worst possible pattern. Because of anabolic resistance, your muscles can only absorb and use so much protein at one sitting. Loading 60 grams at dinner doesn't give you 60 grams worth of muscle building. Signal your muscles hit a ceiling and stop responding. What you want instead is consistent protein across all 3 meals. 20 to 30 grams at breakfast, 20 to 30 at lunch, 20 to 30 at dinner. That consistent supply, never going too long without protein, never flooding the system all at once, keeps your muscle cells in a near constant state of rebuilding all day long. The 5 foods we talked about today are your best tools for making that breakfast number real. So here is my challenge to you. Not a complicated meal plan, not a list of rules, just one decision for tomorrow morning. Pick one food from this list, just one, and add it to whatever you're already eating. Greek yogurt instead of that cereal. 2 whole eggs alongside your toast, half an avocado on the side. A small handful of walnuts with your coffee alongside breakfast, not instead of it. One food, one morning, then do it again the next day, and the day after that. Small changes, repeated consistently, produce results that surprise even the people making them. If this video helped you understand something about your body that you didn't know before, here's what I'm asking you to do right now. Hit the like button. It takes 1 second, and it tells me this kind of content is worth making more of. Leave a comment below. Tell me which of these 5 foods you're going to try first. I read every single one. And if you have a friend or family member over 60 who you think needs to hear this, someone you've noticed getting a little slower, a little thinner in the arms, a little more careful on the stairs, share this video with them today. You might be giving them something their doctor never has. Subscribe if you haven't already, because next week I'm going to show you the specific movements, none requiring a gym, none requiring equipment, that combine with this breakfast plan to dramatically accelerate muscle rebuilding in seniors. You do not want to miss that one. I'll see you then.